Hi guys, I just wanted to tell you a really funny story today instead of doing my usual thing. So I'm at the bus stop right now, and I was just on a 6, and I was going to the market, the vegetable market or whatever you call it, and um, when I was on that bus, there was a gentleman, and he was a little bit confused. And by gentleman, I mean like he was a young guy, and he was pretty good looking. So he was on it and he was confused about where to get off and stop. And then I told him. And then he wanted to know where to catch the bus when he was done going to where he was going. So then I told him that information and then we said goodbye or whatever. And then turns out a little while later, I'm coming out of the store and he's at the same stop. And I'm like, oh, there he is. And he's got flowers or whatever in his hand. And we started chatting, and he was asking me, well, do you know what time the bus comes? And I said, yeah, okay, so this is how you work the app. And he was like, oh, I don't have internet, I'm from the States. Excuse me. Then I said, oh, where are you from? And he said that he was from Idaho or Ohio, or I can't remember. Idaho, I think he said. No, Iowa, that's what he said. And then he's like, but he was living in Missouri because he was teaching there. And then we started talking about how local Missouri is. No offense, and the experience that I have had there. No offense to anybody if you're watching from Missouri. And then he was like, well, I'm here. I've been here for 3 weeks. And he started telling me his story about, why he's here and blah, blah, blah. And we had still 7 minutes to catch the bus. So we just chatted. And I said, oh, yeah, so my husband's from Texas. And he was like, oh, yeah. And I don't know if he really heard me or not, and then all of a sudden he hands me the flowers, and I thought he said, these are for you. That's what I thought he said. Keeping in mind he had a really thick accent, not thick as in I couldn't understand him, but it was pretty big accent, it was prominent accent. And what did he say? And then I was super confused, and I'm like, thank you. And I must have had a really weird look on my face. So then he bends down and he's on one knee, and I'm like, oh my God, what is this guy doing? I just told him I was married, and he's not going to propose to me, is he? Seriously, I'm a stranger, and why is he giving me flowers? What is happening right now? And I'm looking around, and there's nobody around because there was just the two of us, and I was super confused, and I was just standing there all awkward. And then I noticed he's tying his freaking shoe. So then I'm like, okay, so he's tying his shoe. What's happening? And then he gets up and he's like, thank you. I guess he must have asked me or said to him, oh, I have to tie my shoe. And I don't know if he asked me, to hold on to them or what, but I was so confused, and I must have been beet red, because then he was kind of didn't make eye contact with me, and it was oh, there's the bus. It really wasn't even the bus coming, and I'm like, oh, my mistake, that's not the bus, and it'll be here in a few minutes. And I just started in this random small chat because I was so embarrassed at that point that I didn't know what to do. And then I get on the bus and I have my big cart, right? So I kind of sat in the front where I could sit with it, and he went to the back, and then as he's leaving to get off the bus, he comes up and he was like, okay, nice meeting you, see you. And I was like, okay, bye. But he was supposed to get off at the same stop as me at the terminal, but he must have been embarrassed as well because he got off before then, or I don't know what happened, but yeah, we were it was so embarrassing. My face must have been beet red. And then once he got off, there was a guy sitting beside me, and I'm like, you want to hear the most embarrassing story ever? And I let him know the most embarrassing story ever. So that is my embarrassing story. I hope you like that. It is not even a story because it is true life, and that is just me. I don't even know. Like someone's gonna propose to me. My husband didn't even propose to me, for God's sake. I proposed to him, I think. Or no, we just said, hey, want to get married? Something happened, and we were going to go see Aerosmith, and I then decided that we were going to get married when we were there. I don't know. Anyways, If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and comment down below what's your most embarrassing story. And hopefully you can see me. It's pretty bright out here. Bye. See you next Tuesday.